Joker Folie opened even lower than Morbius with a laughable $37.8 million weekend. Now, this is Josh Wilding reporting on the actual release of the movie. We didn't think things could get any worse for Joker Folie but following Warner Brothers' $40 million opening weekend estimates and analysts predicting $39 million, the sequel actually debuted in North America with $37.8 million. This places the Joker sequel significantly below other comic book movie flops, including Morbius with $39 million, The Marvels at $46.1 million, and The Flash at $55 million. Based on how those perform, chances are Joker Folie will end its domestic run with around $70 million. In 2019, Joker's opening weekend was a massive $96 million. If Todd Phillips had box office bonuses written into his contract for hitting certain benchmarks after the first movie grossed over $1 billion, yeah, he's not going to be smiling about that. Here's how Joker Folie Doux's opening weekend went. The Monday update from opening weekend, the $7 million for the pre-shows on Thursday, $20.3 million for Friday when you include the pre-shows, $11.3 million on Saturday, down 44%, and $6.2 million on Sunday, down another 45%, for a total of $37.8 million on the weekend. A D rating cinema score, a 33% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 31% audience score, opening worse than Morbius, The Marvels, and The Flash, as mentioned previously. Now, that's not great, right? The movie was greenlit on Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav's watch, and that's only served to further anger DC fans still upset about him scrapping the near-completed Batgirl. Deadline has shared a great analysis which sheds some light on at least one of the reasons Joker Folie has bombed. As one wise industry colleague pointed out to me last night, whenever low cinema scores register like this, it's because the audience was sold a bill of goods that wasn't delivered upon by the studio. You know, the poster of Joker and Harley dancing on the stairs? Yeah, it's not in the movie. As is de regular in movie marketing, studios don't blatantly sell musicals as musicals, or else no one will show up. They have to hide that in their movie marketing and trick audiences in the door. It's then that they easily become a fan or not, which was the case here. Joker Folie is now playing in theaters. All right, y'all, let's talk about this. First of all, if you really want to know my thoughts on Joker Folie I've done both a out-of-theater reaction and a spoiler review of the movie. I've spoken on this a couple of times. I'm going to speak on it again most likely on Friday for our full spoiler discussion between myself, Coy, and Christian over on Capes and Cowls. Dude, it's just not a good movie. It's really not. And I think the one thing that I heard somebody say that I think is kind of spot on, Coy said it a little bit, but I heard somebody kind of say it even more so. It really felt like Todd Phillips actually had a lot of disdain for the movie and how it was directly received. You made the decision to use the IP of the Joker to kind of do your King of Comedy, Taxi Driver remake and all that, which, you know, good for you. You made $1 billion off of it, but then you ended up in this position. And supposedly, you know, he had more he wanted to say. Supposedly, you know, he mentioned not liking the entertainment element of Donald Trump in the debates or the Depp Heard trial or things like that, and how real serious things have been made a mockery of in society, and that's our entertainment now. That can definitely be seen in the movie, but that's honestly not enough to justify what this was, because it didn't really stick to its guns on how it wanted to move. So I'm not surprised that people said, F that, I'm not going to do that. I think the one thing that we've talked about, another video if you want to check out, I had asked the question, are movie theaters dying? The ultimate answer to that is no, they're not dying if you're putting out quality work. At the end of the day, it's always going to be word of mouth. And I'm sure there's a point at which Todd Phillips and everybody involved felt that that was actually a good film one way or the other, but it's clear that it wasn't. And whether that's because you're trying to buck the system or what, you're not delivering on the things that were promised, as mentioned, the dancing on the stairs. I was waiting for that the whole time and it never happened, which sounds silly to be bummed out about that, but it was just one of those moments I was like, okay, when's it coming? And I've spoken on, I don't have a problem with trailers showing you one thing and doing something different, but it should be for a reason. You know what I mean? I know cuts happen, but like when, for example, the Hulk didn't show up in the Charge in Infinity War, instead it was Bruce in the Hulkbuster armor, that was for the sake of saving a surprise as to how the final battle was going down. It wasn't just completely omitting something. Or the fact that whenever you saw Thanos with the glove, he had far less Infinity Stones in the trailer than he did in the actual moment of the movie. Those are completely different scenarios because, again, you are hiding a secret about the film so that people can be surprised versus just putting stuff in and cutting it fully out. Again, cuts happen. It is what it is. I'm not going to pretend like that doesn't happen, but those were moments that seemed like it was going to be interesting or big, and to not have them were kind of weird. Let alone you had a lot of conversation about this is not your Harley Quinn. We're doing something different or whatever. And I don't love that because, again, you can tell your movie and do your thing. You don't have to do the IP. That's literally what you just saw John Watts do, where he said, I love doing Spider-Man. It was great, but I realized I can't catch that lightning in a bottle again, and I would rather work with my own IP and do what I want to do. So I hope going forward that because Todd Phillips is a fantastic filmmaker, I hope that he continues to tell these stories however it is, but don't just, I guess, lean into whatever said IP just to go cash a check. I mean, do what you do. You're the filmmaker, not me. You're very successful. You made billion-dollar movies, so what do I know? I just know that it didn't go very well, and a lot of people didn't like it. But am I wrong? Did you go and see it? Were you part of the $37.8 million? I was myself, and I do wish I kind of had that time back. Let me know down in the comments, man.